Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Welcome. Want to just first of all say hello. I hope you had a great day so far. And it may be like mine, very hectic day, given that today was the first day of school, back to school for my children. And so many of you that are out there may be able to relate to how, like, it is when you're trying to make sure everything is right and in order for that first day of school. And not just the first day, but just overall. Hello, Tiffany Wolf. How are you? Okay, so today we're going to be just talking a little bit about how to keep your sanity as your children are transitioning back to school. And that's interesting because I was telling my husband, I said, my stomach's a little upset. And he was like, my stomach's upset too. We were both kind of queasy in our stomach a little bit. But really what it was is that our children were going back to school and they are all transitioning to different levels. Like one is now in middle school, and then one is in high school, and another one is in college. Another one's, in business ownership. And it has been like an amazing situation to see our children grow up and now go to different schools. So like one school I drove past, I don't have to go there anymore. It's like, OMG, oh my G, I don't go to the elementary school anymore. And so that's a whole big deal for me anyway, because I've been, going to that school for so many years, and then voila, I don't go there anymore because my children are getting older. So going to middle school today for the first time, and I got a chance to see my daughter because I went to take some things over to the nurse, and she was so excited. She's like, "Hi, Mom, da, 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 I'm so excited." And I was like, whoa. I mean, she was like, I'm loving school. I'm loving my day. I'm loving my life. Oh. I was like, whoa. She clearly is extremely motivated. She wasn't feeling like I was feeling, like, I miss her so much. I cannot believe she's going to middle school. She's in the 6th grade. Is she going to do well? Is she going to handle this well? Guess what? The children handle it much better than we do in many instances. When I pulled up this morning, I saw so many parents at the middle school trying to walk their children to class, and I could see all of the staff trying to block them and say, "No, we got it from here. No, I don't think that they need you to walk them to class. Remember orientation, remember open house, everything that we taught you." Every parent's like, "You better move." Parents get intense when it comes to their children. It's so funny to watch. So some parents, no matter what the nationality, it's crazy. Parents are like, "But I don't feel comfortable with my children going to school." But for the first time, they were like giving them the business, some of the staff. And I thought it was just so cute to sit and watch these parents in motion trying to get to their children when the staff was like, "No, this is as far as you go, ma'am." It was pretty funny. Hey, Benita, how are you? Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to keep your sanity as your children are transitioning back to school. One of the biggest things that I do, and I strongly recommend that you do, is every single night, the night before, make sure that everything from head to toe is laid out. Like, don't have any child have to get up and start looking for a sock, a pencil, a stapler, nothing. Everything that is required for your children to be able to have a successful day the next day, make sure that it's laid out and ready to go. Book bags should already, literally, book bags are right here by the door. The homework should already be done. The lunch prepared as much as possible. Now, sometimes in my case, when I will prepare a sandwich, sometimes it gets too soggy and they don't really like that. So I'll wait until the morning to do the sandwich with my daughter in particular. That's who usually takes her lunch. But as much as possible that can be put in your lunchbox the night before. You can put a bag of chips. You can put all of the items that's going to be the cold items can already be prepared and sitting right in the fridge. So you can just take those Ziploc bags and put them right in the lunchbox the next day. These are things that work. They work because I'm tried and tested and proven to be very successful at working. As long as you follow these basic tips, I promise you, you're going to be very happy at the end of the day, and it'll save you so much more time in the morning when it's time to get everyone out, especially if you have more than one child. Like in my case, you know, it's been times when 5 children were heading to school at the same time, and I was like, I have to get a handle on this, because this is not going to work if I don't have a very strategic strategy plan and tactic and routine, or whatever you want to call it, to make everything pop just right. If you are going to be feeding your children cereal, for example, you can put the bowl, you know, everything I use is pretty much disposable, so you can put the bowl, the plastic spoon, and have the napkin there. You can have the plastic cup ready if you're going to be pouring some juice in the cup in the morning, the cereal box right there by the cereal on the table, as long as it's sealed, and the milk we know is in the fridge. So having everything ready to go. If you have to iron clothes, iron them the night before. So like everything's ready. Like my son Jeremiah in high school, he actually starts his day with gym, which is like driving him bananas, because you know he wants to go with his swag and his nice gear and everything, but he has to start the day with gym. So what we've been doing, it just happened today for the first time, but he's going to wear his gym outfit to school since that's his first class. And I ironed his pants. Well, he was actually like, "Oh, Mom, these don't need to be ironed." I was like, "Boy, bye. These are the most wrinkled pants that I've ever in my life seen." So yes, they will be ironed. But obviously, you know, you have your teenage children. They think that everything's like, "Oh, just let it go. Don't worry about it." But you still want a certain image and a certain, you know, quality to what they go out into the community with. So, hey, how are you, Yvonne? Okay, make sure that everything is ironed and laid out and ready to go from head to toe the night before. Now, obviously, you still don't put the toothpaste and stuff like that on the toothbrush, but everything could just be already sectioned out, and it really does make a difference. And remember that you're only one person, so you're not going to be able to do everything by yourself. Even sometimes I hear people that are single and they're single parents, and they're like, "Well, you know, that's easier said for you to do, Kim, because you've been married for who gobs of years and you have help. And so for you to say, you know, let's do this and divide it up and do this and do that, it makes it sound so easy." But what I'm actually saying, and I'm definitely not downplaying anybody that is a single parent. First of all, let me take a moment and say that I salute you, I honor you, and I give major applause to you. Because guess what? You didn't ask to be a single parent. It may have, whatever happened, whatever the circumstances are that brought that about in your life, that's not something that you thought probably was even going to happen when you were involved in the person's life that you were involved in to create the child. So obviously that's not something that anybody says, "Ooh, ooh, 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 I want to be a single parent." That's kind of something that's like, OMG, I'm a single parent. And so I definitely do not take that lightly, and I'm not going to just brush past it real quick, because I think that single parents, you have double work that's placed on you, double responsibilities, sometimes quadruple and you name it, however many times, quintuplets and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can go on and on, sextuplets and blah, blah. You have so many things that are placed on your plates as a single parent, and much more like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Who's going to help me here? But what I'm asking you to do is think about the people that you do have at your fingertips. Like, who are some people that really care about what I'm dealing with, what I'm going through, and they know that my children are active and that I need help. And I can tell you that I have friends that will have like carpools arranged with some other like teen moms, that they say, "Okay, well, my child needs to be here at this time and your child's going there at this time. Maybe on this day you can take the children, and on this day I'll take the children." And then that way we both get a chance to have that one day to do some of the things that we need to do to catch up on some errands or whatever it is that we need to do at that time. And that's not just tips for a single mom or a single parent, because it's not just moms that deal with this, but single parents or at all, but also married parents do this too. I mean, I have friends that will have a carpool arrangement because they have multiple children, but they don't want their child to miss out on that specific activity. And so they'll make an arrangement and say, "Can you meet me here? I'll do this for you on this date, and let's, you know, just kind of split roles." And that works. It really does work. as long as you feel comfortable with the person, as long as you feel comfortable with the person being around your child. That is critically important. Don't put your children in any compromising positions that's going to make them have to carry something through life as a big secret that just damaged their lives. That's not the place we want to put our children in. So obviously, if you feel comfortable, then in that case, that's when you I'm sorry. I'm actually doing this video and my son is sitting here on his computer over here. He's like, click, 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 click. I'm like, but he has headphones on, so he doesn't know that it's like disturbing me. Anyway, that's the beautiful part of being a mom. I'm just a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a pastor's wife. I'm a real person. So I'm not about to start this live over. But I am going to say, could you please stop clicking that thing at that level, sir? Thank you so much. Just a little lighter tapping, please, okay? OMG. Every time I try to do a video around my family, they just, whoosha. Okay, let me get back in business here. All right, you're one person. Listen to me for a second, please. In a given day, I have a notebook. Actually, Frankie, Frankie, pass me my notebook. It's in that bag right there. I have a notebook that I just write down all of my to-dos, and the way that I compartmentalize them, I do. Yeah, give me that one. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so in this case, it's this particular. It's just a cute little spiral notebook that I have. And what I do is I write down the area that I'm focusing on. For example, I say, okay, Gabe's Heart Foundation, and then I'll put down individually invite family members with the flyers and the registration options. I'll put down, okay, sponsors that are already definite sponsors. I have Chick-fil-A, that's a definite sponsor. Gethsemane Gardens is a definite sponsor for Gabe's Heart Foundation 5K walk this year, which, by the way, is September 21st, and is at the Northwest Cabarrus Middle School. If you haven't registered, go ahead and register, because we're going to be ordering the t-shirts soon, and people wear their t-shirts all year long. Oh, Frankie, one more thing, bring it in. Bring it in real quick, because you got the t-shirt. You have it. Please, just let me see that t-shirt, please. Anyway, so okay, so the thing is, each year you get this t-shirt, and the t-shirt is something that people wear all year round, and I'm impressed, because I could be watching a video of somebody, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, that's a Gabe's Heart t-shirt. Gabe's Heart Foundation t-shirt. It's on. Now that's, you know what? That's ridiculous, Frankie. That's ridiculous. You'd rather take the t-shirt off and hand it to me. That is, you want to put it back on? Wow. Okay, so anyway, but thank you for being compliant. I appreciate it. Okay, so Frankie is kind enough to let me show you last year's t-shirt. Gabe's Heart Foundation. Oh, this was how many years ago? Oh, wow, you're still wearing it. This is 2016. And these are the sponsors from that year. And we have great sponsors every year. This year we have, here you go. Thank you so much, Frankie. This year, right now, we have Chick-fil-A is one of the sponsors, and they provide literally hot sandwiches after the 5K walk. And then Gethsemane Gardens, which is where Gabe is his resting place as far as the burial site. They're one of the sponsors this year and I have several others. I'm not going to name them yet until I get final confirmation, but I do have several others that are going to be sponsors as well. The Mother Dreamer Movement is a sponsor. Quest Church is a sponsor. And so we are open to having any of you that are interested in promoting your business on the t-shirt. Let us know. Inbox me right away, because guess what? You'll get the opportunity to be exposed to so many people throughout the community just by being one of the sponsors for the Gabe's Heart 5K walk. Okay, but anyway, I wanted to show you this sheet just to let you know how I compartmentalize things. I literally write the name across the top. In that case, it was Gabe's Heart Foundation. In another case, it would be personal things that I need to cover that day, that throughout the entire day, that must get done. And then it'll be some things that are church related that I have to get done, making sure that I do an e-blast or a post, and so the only way for me that I can get so many things done is I actually say, this is the bucket that I'm working with. This is the bucket that I'm working with. This is the time frame that I'm working with it. And I go straight down and just get it completely done. And I can't get everything done. Okay. I'm not even attempting to get everything done. So what I do is I prioritize to maximize. And that's in my book. Did you guys not get the book yet? Extreme Balance Makeover. It's on Amazon. If you have not ordered your copy of Extreme Balance Makeover, make sure you get it as soon as possible. And the book is available and they can ship it to you. And you can also get a downloadable version through Kindle. And that's like a bundle deal or something called Extreme Balance Makeover right on Amazon. And in there, I'm sharing some of these tips. That's why I'm just kind of I don't have the page number right in front of me. But one of the things I talk about is how to prioritize your day to maximize your day. And we know that you're not going to, you can put 100 things on your list all day long. But at the end of the day, if you're only going to get 5 of those things done, then you want to make sure that they're the most important things that you get done, right? That just makes, I mean, to me, that's basic. But it's still, believe it or not, some things that are common sense are not common sense, because when it's time to actually put them into motion, it's hard for people to implement those things. It's like, I know what I'm supposed to do, but at the end of the day, I don't do it. So that's not good. And so these tips are just tips to help you. And making sure that we're smart in our process. Like if I know, for example, that I actually have to, well, and I don't do all of this alone myself. So let's be very clear. If you do have a spouse, then I definitely encourage you to say, hey, let's use some teamwork and let's make this all work together synergistically. And so if I'm taking someone to a doctor's appointment, then you can go and pick this one up from school. Or if you want me to go do this, or you want me to go do that, then you go do this. And we're all kind of lockstep and in sync with where we need to be in order to make sure that we get everyone properly covered that's in school. So my recommendation, hi everyone that's joining today. I didn't even look over, I'm sorry. Hello everybody. If you have any questions, please feel free to use this as like an Ask Kim kind of segment, because you may have a very specific request of something that you're dealing with as your children are transitioning back to school, your grandchildren are transitioning back to school. Feel free to ask me a specific question and I'll be honored to answer it just for you. So that way you don't get off of this session not having your question directly answered. So take advantage when I do come on. If there's a tip that you need a specific answer to, I'll be happy to answer it and ask him. You can do like an Ask Him segment type of thing, okay? And it's my honor to be able to help you in any regard. But one thing I'll give you as a tip is if you have children and you know that you're going to be taking your children to doctor's appointments, try to schedule those doctor's appointments where you get to take multiple children at the same time. Then that gives you a chance not to have to keep running back and forth to the school throughout the week to take the same child to the same location. It just, if you could schedule them all together, it would be ideal. I do that oftentimes with like the dentist appointments. I'll schedule it at 2:30, 3, and 3:30. And then before it was and 4, but the point is at any back-to-back situation, so that way my children are all getting their teeth cleaned, but it didn't require me to come 4 different times. Now these are tips again that I'm just sharing off the top of my head. Hey Jeremiah, you having a good day? Okay. And Jeremiah's like, Mom, don't ask me to do anything on Facebook Live, because he has a very limited window of time. I've already told them you're going to bed, and I know they don't want me. You don't want me to tell you bedtime, right? But anyway, it's 9 o'clock, because you know why? Because it's important for them to be able to transition during this back to school time frame, and do not knock my thing off while I'm doing my video. Okay, good gracious almighty. Okay, I'm still smiling as I'm fussing at my son over there. It's like, okay, I'll put you on Facebook Live if you do that again. Anyway, I got sidetracked. What am I doing? See, you know what? I know what I should do. My Facebook Lives somewhere else, because if I do them right here, he just took a chair and banged it right into the video, shift the whole thing. It's like, wow, I'm not playing. Anyway, yeah, I told them a bedtime of 9 o'clock only because I want them, even though they're older or whatever, they're still tired. I can see in their face and their countenance that you're tired. So give your body a chance to get the proper rest that it needs so that you can have a productive jump start to the school year. It's nothing worse than starting off so slow and then at the end of the semester having to fight a battle and say, please help them, make them better, do it better. No. How about you just start right? and start strong and get good grades from the beginning, so that we don't have this, drama at the end of the school semester. I don't like stuff like that. But if you know that you're going to be, in my case, we have to pick my one son up at a certain time, and then it's like a 2-hour difference before my daughter has to be picked up. So one thing we can do is, if you have a situation like this and you're driving your children to school and you're not like wanting to take them right back home or whatever, you could just go to a local like coffee shop or somewhere, or you can go somewhere that you can just hang out with a library or a park or whatever, to be able to just chill out, let the one child do some homework while the other child is waiting to be picked up. You can go get them something to eat, or if you just want to hurry up, get them home, get them situated, let them start on their homework, you can do that as well. So there are so many different options when it comes to being creative and being smart when it comes to working with your children, as you're trying to keep your own sanity as the adult. That's what I'm talking about here. How to keep your sanity as the adult, because it's so many different things that are being piled on you as your children are transitioning back to school. Another very important thing that works in my home, and it works very well for me, and that's why I share it in the book as well, Extreme Balance Makeover. If you don't have Extreme Balance Makeover, please make a commitment to go and get it off of Amazon. It's available, and please leave a positive review so that you whatever your experience is with the book. If it's a bad experience, you can leave that too, I suppose, because I can't dictate what experience you've had. But so far, people have had a great experience reading the book, and so get your copy, and you can also get a downloadable copy. Let me go back. Another critical thing is, in the evenings, when I'm dealing with my children with schoolwork and what their day has consisted of throughout the day, I have to have individual appointments. That works lovely for me. So I start, and today I had my appointment with Jeremiah, and it was uninterrupted time. We closed the door. I pulled out all of his papers. We went through all of the papers. I signed the papers that needed to be signed. We talked about what he enjoyed most about his day, what he wished could have been changed throughout the day. That is a good conversation starter for you to do that with your children over dinner or whatever, so that you can talk to them and find out what it is that they're experiencing throughout their day. And they will tell you if you just have some kind of conversation starters and say, hey, tell me the thing that you love the most about your day. And for example, Jayla said, well, Mom, what I love the most was actually, I just love the fact that I have this locker. It's my own space. I'm so excited about it. And my teachers are really nice. And she went on and on about the things that she loves. But then I asked her, well, what is something that you kind of wish could have changed throughout your day? Well, guess what? She was like, oh my gosh, do you know that in middle school, they do not have recess? That thing blew her away. She was like, that's like having this. These are her words. She said, that's like having a daycare and not having nap time. Who does that, Mommy? So she was just so concerned that like she has to stay in this building all day and not get the opportunity to go outside, which she's used to from elementary school. So just talking to your children and getting the opportunity to find out what it is that they don't really like about the day, and that gives you a chance to know how you can provide some solutions to them as you're helping to develop their character. I hope these tips are helping. Is this helping anybody? I hope it's helping somebody today. Be smart with how you handle your children when one may still be at school and the other one still needs to be picked up from school and the other one's out of school, and you don't want to run around like a chicken with your head cut off. I'm everywhere. You don't have to be everywhere. You can be creative in how you handle that time, and you can still be able to keep your sanity. You can get some libation. You get you a coffee or get you a tea or get you some water or whatever it is that would be relaxing to you. Take your computer with you. Relax and let your child do the homework while you're also doing some other stuff for your job. Now, what if you work all day and you're like, look here, all of these tips are nice, but I'm at work. So my child is a latchkey child, which I was a latchkey child. Let's be very clear. I grew up in the projects, inner city, very rough area. So everybody know. And I say 757 because I'm proud. I'm proud. First of all, let's be very clear. I'm very proud of my upbringing because my mom raised me as a single parent, and it was very impoverished environment that I lived in. So that's why whenever you hear somebody say 757, I'm saying it professionally, 757, but no, we'd be like 757. The reason we say that is because we have a bond. The people that grew up in 757, we are proud of where we came from and where God has brought us to at this phase in our lives. I'll never forget where I came from. And people like Tina Vick, who's out there representing and working in the capacity that she's working in, is she's shaping and changing lives out there. 757 is a part of my legacy. It's going to be a part of my memory. It's going to be a part of everything that I'm created to be, because I came from the bottom. And I don't want to start, I'll start totally going way. My husband's like, do you have to always say you came from the bottom? I most certainly do. Just like you have to always say that you have certain stories that you say when you're talking to people. I came from the bottom, and I am proud of where God has brought me to at this phase in my life. But it doesn't mean that I will ever forget where I came from. And I will never not help the people that may still be in that area, because I understand. I understand the struggle, and I don't take it for granted. Okay, I don't want to go sidetrack, because when you grow up in the projects and you see somebody like with a gun right in their hand and doing all kinds of stuff, and you know that you are a latchkey child and you're going in that apartment every day by yourself, you're grateful. Trust me, I'm grateful is what I'll say. So some of you, I know you work and you cannot be home when your children come home. So in that case, I recommend that you have things already kind of like prepped, like almost like a meal prepping situation, so that when your child at a certain age comes in, they're not having to struggle to figure out, well, what do I eat for lunch? What do I eat for dinner? What do I eat until my mom gets home? Have that stuff sectioned out and say, okay, this with a label on it. This is what you're going to eat for lunch. And this is what you do to prepare it. It may be that you'll type a few instructions, or you may handwrite it. Everything for me, I'm big on just handwriting it, right in my little notebook, my handy dandy notebook. Put it in there, put it right on top of what some of the food might be for your child that's going to be preparing those items while you're at work. Make sure that you have a neighborhood friend. Like in my case, my mom had Aunt Ciola. My Aunt Ciola was amazing. She wasn't my aunt for real, but she was the aunt that I grew to call aunt. And she had like 8 children. She had all these children. And every day I was able to come home, get my food or whatever I wanted to do, and then I could go straight to her house until my mom came home from work. And that made me feel very comfortable, because I wasn't just sitting in the apartment by myself. So if you're a person that's working and you know that you need to have another situation where someone's watching your child so that you're comfortable while you're at work, then speak up and find out who in the neighborhood is a trustworthy person that you feel comfortable having your child connect with. Well, at the time that I was doing homework, all of her children were doing homework. So it was just like, okay, scoot over, I'm here. And I would just do my homework too. And nobody ever did anything to me that made me feel uncomfortable or made me feel like, okay, something's going to go south here. None of that. And so my mom made the right decision by connecting me with my Aunt Ciola and my family that became my family through that bond. Okay, let me see what else. I talked about appointments, extracurricular activities. As you're transitioning back to school, it's a lot of extracurricular activities. I have a daughter in dance. I have a son that's acting. I have a son that's playing football in college, scrimmages and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's like mad pandemonium. So I know I can relate to any of you that are parents out here that are dealing with children with extracurricular activities. You want to make sure that you do not overload yourself. My children cannot participate in every season of everything. We're going to pick a season. Let's pick this. Okay, this is the season we're in, and we're going to do this, this, and this. And that's what we can do. You cannot do everything. So no, you're not going to be able to do band and football. That's happening at the same time, okay? And I'm one person. And yes, even with Daddy and I, we're 2 people. But guess what? We don't want to always be you over here and I'm over there. How about we just figure out something that we can go to and we can work together to accomplish and be able to support you, both of us, at your event. And that makes a huge difference for your children if the parents are able to come and see the event versus one having to go here, one having to go here every single time. So that doesn't always make the child feel good, if that makes sense. Okay, I won't talk too much about that. So teamwork, I said making sure that you have teamwork amongst you and your spouse. If it's not you and your spouse, I don't care if you have to hire some, like your family member that you have, that's a person that you give a certain stipend to go and do certain things for you, or come to your home and watch your child or your children while you go and run the errands right after work. It's so many ways to make this thing called life work. And I'm believing that if you implement some of the things that can work and that can help you keep your sanity, you will not be feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulder. You'll be okay. And you'll be like, you know what? Help is here for me. Who do I feel comfortable with and confident that they have my best interest at heart and my child's best interest at heart, that I could entrust to help bring them on board to help me some. You may have someone come and just sit right there in your home, and you may still be in your home. It's not that you even left the home. I've done that before. I've hired my teenage niece. I give her money. She's sitting right there in the house working with my daughter, doing something while I'm doing the laundry. So I know that what I'm talking about works. And I hope that it's helping you today. I really, really do. And if there's anything that you have as a question, I'll be honored to answer it for you. I'm big on contracts. Let me say that too. In my house, I always get my children to sign a contract for the school year. We revisit it. That was a tongue twister. We revisit it quarterly, because I want to make sure that what you're saying you're going to do to honor what we're going to agree upon is in writing by you. And now this is all I'm doing is going back to the contract and saying, this is what you said we were going to do. Let's go ahead and roll out. I'm going to definitely get up. I'm not going to give you any problems. I'm not going to be, hitting snooze 50 times. I'm going to do what the teachers are instructing me to do. I'm not playing in school, because school is not a playground in that regard. I will call my friends after hours. We have just different things that are in our contract, and they usually honor it very smoothly. Does anybody have any questions? Because I would love to be able to answer any questions that you have versus just kind of putting this all out there. And as I recap, I'm going to go back and just recap briefly and see if there's a question. If so, I'll go ahead and answer it. And if not, then I'll bring this session to a close. Keeping your sanity. Tips to help keep your sanity. Now, again, I didn't write all of this, a lot of this down. I had a couple of things that I wanted to definitely get out to you, but I've kind of infused so many other things, so I don't remember in what order I said things. But making sure that you use your notebook, just a basic notebook. It doesn't have to be something that costs you a lot of money, $3.99. And in there, make sure that you're very specific. You want to say anything? Oh, you just want to use this light. He wants me to get off of this so he can use this light that I'm using. Oh boy. Anyway, make sure that you actually compartmentalize everything. Yeah. Who do you want to invite? Like, I want to invite the Northeast Dolphins. I want to invite all the old past attendees. And I have a whole list of everything pertaining to that. And then I'll do just a personal list of things. And I have everything personally related. I have a tab here called the North Carolina Second Jurisdiction. And I have some outstanding to-dos, things that I needed to do. And so, for example, I needed to send an invitation to the Pink Tea that's coming up September 7th. I had to send that final invitation to the Mothers Board. And also we sent it out to a church text blast today. I have a speaker she's like a millionaire, entrepreneur extraordinaire within our jurisdiction, and she's agreed to be our speaker for September 10th for the Business and Professional Women's Federation. And so I sent out an invitation to make sure that we got her information, and I reached out to Kim Davis and to Tanisha Sharp. Tanisha is my vice president, and Kim Davis is the secretary, and I didn't put Cassandra does all of our conference calling coordination as well. So I have a laundry list of things that I have to do, and that's what I just write it all down and I scratch it out when it's done. But I get so much accomplished in a given day. But the reason is because I do track what my goal is, because it's hard to hit a target if you don't even know what the target is. What is the goal? How are you going to accomplish a goal if you don't have it before you? You have to have that goal written down. And if it's not written down somewhere, what are you working towards again? I don't think you're going to meet it, because you can't even tell me what it is. So it's not really possible for it to happen. All right, I think I've said a whole lot. My husband and we use the teamwork when it comes to picking the children up, or he go there and I go here, or we meet here. Okay, I'm coming down the street. I need to meet you to give you Jayla. I need to, we just do whatever it takes to get the goal accomplished and to be able to keep your sanity. Okay. I hope I helped you today. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me, kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. I'll type that in right here. Kim, can I type that in here? kim@thebalancedoctor.tv. Now, I am going to also do a session coming up on how to deal with children that have special needs, and also still trying to keep your sanity and dealing with that too, because I have 3 children with special needs, and I don't talk about that often, but I'm not going to talk. Oh, okay. Anyway, so then, and when I say special needs, I'm saying physical special needs, not anything that's anyway. I'm getting corrected in the background. They're like, don't say that. Oh, okay. Anyway, there's sometimes different physical needs that are, whatever. Let me not talk about that right now, because my children are like, don't talk about it. Okay, let me just leave that one alone. Okay. I cannot do my videos in here. I can tell you that right now. These kids are getting on my nerves. All right. I hope that I've helped somebody today, and that some tip that I've shared with you can be applied immediately so that you cannot feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. That's very important. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. And I hope that the first week of school, if this is your first week of school, is a very smooth, relaxing time for you and your family. If you try and implement some of these basic strategies, I believe it can be. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay. Bye-bye.